Thank you so much for your time. I know you're a very busy man.
I'm a happy guy.
It's so nice to meet you. And
Your work is very important because it's all about personal empowerment, because the whole history has been personal disempowerment. It's time to go the other way around.
I would love to hear your thoughts on character strengths because this emerging field of positive psychology, which has been around, for about 20 some years, but still in its infancy, so to speak.
Well, it's been around for over 75 years because the placebo effect has been recognized by medicine as mind over matter, and the consequence of a positive mind over matter versus nocebo, which is negative. So the fact does positive thinking affect us? I go, well, only 75 years of placebo data says yes.
Exactly. That's a great point. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this science of positive psychology and specifically human character strengths, because as I was looking at your bio one more time, I mean, we know that you're this, your background is in stem cell biology, and you presented to the United Nations, and you've done all these amazing things in your lifetime to really help people to make the connection between, our spirit and science, because really in my mind, the science of positive psychology and specifically character strengths is about the human spirit. It's about what's best about the human spirit. And I would love to know your thoughts on how biology and well-being is affected by tapping into that innate human nobility, that innate human goodness.
Most of the programs that we have downloaded by observing family and community are disempowering and self-sabotaging beliefs, especially when it comes to who do we think we are, because a child doesn't know who it is. The brain doesn't have any access yet. It's still running from programs. So I say, then who am I? I go, what did my parents tell me I was? What did my teachers and my community tell me I was? Because I didn't know until they told me. Well, that's when the problems come in, because parents of a child under 7 don't realize child under 7 is not thinking, it's just recording. I go, so what? When parents try to be like coaches of a team, when a player isn't doing well, the coach doesn't come up and go, oh, please try harder. No, coach comes up and said, that's not good enough. Who do you think you are? You don't deserve to be on this team. And I go, oh, yeah, but a player on a team is old enough to understand the coach is just saying, come on, work harder, and I'll do it, okay? But what if the child's under 7 and the coach is saying that? The child's not thinking, it's just recording. I'm not deserving, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, whatever the things the parents are trying to push the kid, but the kid is just recording the words. So I say, so why is it relevant? Up to 70% of the downloaded programs are disempowering beliefs of who we are. Most of them say, oh, I'm just nobody. No, I'm nobody. No, I'm not that lovable. No, I'm not deserving. And I go, whatever program you get in the first 7 years, it works on the rest of your whole life. Now, some people say subconscious is bad and malevolent. I go, no, subconscious is a hard drive. Is the hard drive on your computer bad? Well, if it's defective, yeah, it might be, but if it's just recording programs, is the hard drive bad? I say, no, the programs can be good, the programs can be bad, the hard drive is just recording. So the subconscious is not an evil thing. As a matter of fact, think about it. You learned how to walk before you were 2. You could be 100 years old and you're still using the same program you got before 2, because it's a habit. That's what the subconscious mind is, habits. So now we're down to a very serious issue. And the issue is this: am I running my life with my belief of being somebody wonderful and loving and creative and all that? Or am I living my life with the programs that I downloaded that disempower me? And the answer is the latter. You are running your life this way. For 40 years, I've told the same story. So 41 years, here it is. You have a friend. You know your friend's behavior very well, and you know your friend's parent. And one day you see your friend has the same behavior as the parent. So you just get excited. You got to tell your friend, you go, hey, Bill, you're just like your dad. Back away from Bill. The moment you say that, I know exactly what Bill's going to say. He's going to say, how can you compare me to my dad? I'm nothing like my dad. I go, how does this make sense? And I go, A, Bill got his programming from his dad in the first 7 years. B, when Bill is thinking, he's playing the program. C, if Bill is thinking, he's not looking out the window to see what the behavior is because he's inside. So whatever behavior the program is, he's playing that. But he's the only one that can't see it. Everybody else is responding to Bill's program. Bill's going, huh? What are you talking about? I'm not like my dad. And everybody's laughing. Yeah, he is, just like his dad. And I go, we are all Bill. We have all been programmed. That the program in the first 7 years controls the rest of your life because 95% of your day is how much time the average person is thinking. Well, when a person is thinking, then the behavior that's coming out is not the behavior of their wishes and desires, conscious mind. It's the behavior that they downloaded from other people, which is mostly negative. So I go, so why is it relevant? And the answer becomes really clear. We're not living the lives that we wish and desire to live because 95% of the day we let go of the wheel, subconscious grabs it, autopilot, and drives us according to the program, which we can't see. So I say, well, at the end of the day, you started the day like, today's the day I'm going to find romance. Oh, today's the day I'm going to get the best job. Today, the day I'm going to get healthy. And at the end of the day, you come home and go, it didn't work. And I go, what does the average person think at that moment? And the answer is this. Well, it's not me. I wanted to be healthy and wealthy and happy and all that. It's those people. It's that. It's them. And all of a sudden I say, what does it mean? The average person perceives themselves to be a victim of the world because their wishes and desires are not being expressed. And they look at it, well, it's not me. I want the wishes and desires, so it's them. And the whole point, just like the story of Bill, is no. Every day you've been playing programs that have been sabotaging you, and you're the only one that can't see it, but everybody else is responding to those programs. And if they're programmed like I do not deserve, then what's going to happen? Okay, now I'm going to give you a sentence, very short, but extremely powerful. You ready?
Yeah.
The function of the mind is to create coherence between our beliefs and our reality. If I got programmed to be not deserving, like a parent, you don't deserve that. And I'm 50 years old and 95% of my life is coming from my subconscious. What do you think I am unconsciously playing all day? Behaviors that will prove that I do not deserve, because do not deserve is the belief, and the mind will create behavior to manifest that. If I have a program, I'm not lovable, guess what? I'll try all kinds of relationships. But what's going to happen is when I'm thinking, the behavior that's coming out is not coming from me, it's coming from my parents. And the point about it is this: if you grew up with my father and mother as a reference for what relationships should be all about, then you would be like me, the greatest failure in relationships until I was about 40 to 50 years old. Then I realized, oh my God, it's my unconscious behavior that is interfered with the success and desire of my life. And once I understood that, then I was able to make a change. And your book, it's very important because it's like people need a pathway to get to this destination. But my life was so radically changed. A guy who couldn't get a relationship for 40 years ends up writing a book called The Honeymoon Effect. Yeah, because not only did I have a honeymoon, but I also knew how to, maintain and sustain a honeymoon. I've been on a honeymoon for 22 years. I wake up every day going, there are two things that I wake up with. A, I'm still alive. That's number one. Okay. But number two is I'm in love. I'm in love with my partner. I'm in love with my life. I wake up and it's like another day of heaven on earth. This was not my life until I changed. And this is why I'm here talking with you, because I want to honor you for the work that you're doing, because this is the kind of work that is necessary for the people caught in the program, the people caught in the matrix. This book is the red pill. This is the book that says you can get out of this cycle of bad, 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 and start creating great heaven on earth. So that little short answer is my response to how much I appreciate the effort that you have made, Fatima, to help people on this planet get out of the hole they've dug without them knowing they even dug it.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful to the science of positive psychology. Hundreds of research studies are showing now that, we can get into that consciousness and we can see our potential and we can see something different than what we've been programmed with. And some of us have been lucky enough to be programmed with, this wonderful knowledge that we are all these things. The 24 character strengths are things like love, perseverance, kindness, forgiveness, hope. I mean, all of us know that these are things that empower us, and more of us need to know how to tap into that.
The fact is this, are you creating your life or you've been programmed for your life? That's the bottom line. The fact is, yes, we've all been programmed, but then unfortunately, people not recognizing the nature of programming and the idea that we always say, well, genes control the character of our lives. It goes, genes control less than 1% of the character of our lives. That the rest of it is all come from the consciousness of the individual. And yet, when people have no idea of this, and it's not a few people that have been misprogrammed, it's the vast majority of the public on this planet that has been misprogrammed. It's only the lucky few that have come from a family that encouraged their health, their vitality, their strength, their consciousness by giving them the tools to live at a higher level of life, a small percent. So the significance of your work is that, man, that's the biggest audience out there that requires this work. That's the massive audience. Because when they do that, when people take back their power and each individual is working on creating their own version of heaven, then by definition, earth becomes heaven.
Absolutely. I love it.
I'm the first student of it. Does it work? You bet your life it works. I've changed my life radically in every way. I couldn't have even written a biology of belief book, which to me is a very important book.
Yeah.
I couldn't have written that if I did not change my habits and my subconscious program. And I came from a life of like longing for love, but believing that it was just a fiction that people wrote about or stories in movies because it's like, it can't be because I've been trying for 40 years. And then to find out, oh my God, it is so beautiful when I realized that I was sabotaging myself with personal beliefs of not good enough, not deserving, and all those things that children acquire. And I say, oh my God, I have two different lives. One programmed, one I am the programmer, not my history. And that's what this book is so important for, is because people don't see the steps. They're just like Bill. They're walking through their lives. They're sabotaging themselves every minute of it. And they have no personal recognition that they're even involved in the failures that they're experiencing. They just see themselves as, everybody else is doing this to me. I am a victim, which means powerless. And it's like, well, that's the farthest thing from the truth. You are so powerful because you are a creator. And when you doubt your power, then you're not creating basically what's going on. And so a guide, a book, a handbook. How can I get there? Well, perhaps reading your book is one of the most important steps to get there, because I need awareness to change that programming so I could be the programmer rather than the people around me before I was age 7.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think people need to read your book as well, The Biology of Belief. When I read that years ago, it transformed my thinking. It really did. And it was this catalyst for, giving me permission to honor my spirit. And we're not talking religiosity here at all.
No, no,
But to
no.
honor my spirit and to reconnect with who I really am and my potential, which is, again, consciousness.